Everything you know about summer, the buzz, the bite, the tiny miracle on every flower vanishes overnight. Stay with me and I'll show you in cinematic detail how that quiet loss becomes a global catastrophe you can see, taste, and smell. They're gone. No tiny wings, no antennae in the grass. At first you only notice the silence. Then you notice the fruit. Insects are small actors with huge roles. They pollinate, they clean, they eat and are eaten. They are the grease in the ecological machine. Think pollination
Here,
first.
apples, almonds,
1 out of
tomatoes,
3
coffee,
bites
and
of
berries
food
bloom in
on your
perfect
plate
harmony,
depends
free
on
from any insect
pollinators.
activity.
Apples, almonds, tomatoes, coffee, berries, most of them rely on insects to move pollen. Without insects, flowers still bloom, but seeds and fruits often never form. Picture an orchard at dawn. Blossoms hang like promises. By noon, many are empty husks. Bees used to visit every hour. Now, nothing touches the petals. Farmers walk the rows with paintbrushes. It's slow, hot, and heartbreakingly human. Supermarket aisles thin. Berries vanish. Prices spike. Markets that shipped almonds by the ton cancel contracts. Kitchens change recipes. Restaurants print shorter menus. The rhythm of food becomes sharper and meaner. Next, the cleanup crew disappears. Flies and beetles break down corpses and plant litter. Without them, dead things pile up. Roadkill doesn't disappear overnight anymore. Leaves pile into impenetrable mats. Forest floors stop feeding new seedlings. Imagine a city alley after a week. A raccoon dies under a dumpster. Normally, a small orchestra of beetles and maggots would tidy the scene. Now the smell grows and lingers. Public health notices change from advisory to urgent. That absence rewires food chains. Caterpillars are meat for baby birds. If caterpillars vanish, nestlings starve. Watch one spring in slow motion. Songbirds arrive and find nothing to feed their chicks. Whole dawn choruses shrink into single voices. Neighborhoods go quiet. Aquatic life feels it too. Insects drop into streams and feed fish. Without that rain of protein, minnows thin out. Frogs cry out and then fall silent. Tiny losses ripple into fewer, bigger fish, and fishermen tell new stories of boats that come back light. Pests don't just disappear with the good insects. The balance collapses. Without many predatory insects, spiders and certain beetles decline too, but rodents and some opportunists surge. Rats, mice, and cockroaches move into vacated niches. They carry their own problems: disease, crop damage, urban stress. Disease maps redraw. Some vectors die, fewer mosquito-borne fevers, a strange relief. But the surge of rodents and the stagnation of dead organic matter create new public health nightmares. Sewage and waste that relied on insect-mediated breakdown overload infrastructure. Clinics in some regions fill in unpredictable ways. Economies bend and then break. Farmers pay for hand pollination crews or rent swarms of robotic pollinators if those exist. Export markets contract. Countries dependent on pollinated cash crops lose income. Jobs evaporate in supply chains that once seemed permanent. And then the climate and soil start to change. Insects aerate soil, fragment leaf litter, and speed decomposition. Without them, soil structure degrades. Nutrients lock up in undecomposed matter. Fields become compact, less fertile, more prone to erosion. When rains come, topsoil washes away like dust down a gutter. There is a cinematic, ugly side to this. Wildfires find more fuel in unprocessed leaf litter. Forest fires burn hotter and more unpredictably. The camera pans across a ridge of blackened trees. Ash drifts into towns that were once green. Smoke fills skylines, and the smell of char replaces the smell of summer blossoms. Technology offers theater and hope in equal measure. Engineers race to build robotic pollinators. Labs breed backup pollinators in controlled environments. Drones hum in orchards like a mechanical swarm. The footage looks futuristic. The costs are astronomical. Access is unequal. Wealthy farms buy experiments. Smallholders collapse. There are strange winners. Some crops don't need pollinators and become staples. Grains like wheat and rice keep feeding billions. Processed foods expand. Diets shift toward calories that don't require insect services. Coffee and chocolate become luxury rarities. Cultural patterns change with taste and scarcity. But not everything adapts. Many wild plants co-evolved with specific insects. Those plants fail, ecosystems lose complexity. Species with narrow diets or narrow pollination strategies die out. The world becomes simpler, fewer colors in the understory, fewer flavors at the table. Humans show resilience and cruelty. People hand-pollinate like monks in a monastery of agriculture. Cities organize urban beekeeping projects from memory or myth. Black markets spring up for bee colonies and insect pupae. Regulations tighten. Scientists work around the clock, but not everything is salvageable. And the moral of the story is subtle. This is not simply about losing pests. It's about losing the invisible workforce that kept Earth's systems humming. We call them bugs, but they were our engineers, our farmers, and our refuse collectors. There is a final, strange twist. Life reorganizes. Within decades, new relationships form. Some plants evolve self-pollination. Birds and mammals try novel diets. Novel insect-like niches might emerge from survivors. The planet moves on, but it is not the same planet we handed to our kids. If you want a cinematic deep dive into solutions, the robotic bees, the policies, the community hacks, and the farm-level triage, say which you want, and I'll make a follow-up. We can go practical, heartbreaking, or hopeful. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe and like so we can keep unpacking these wild what-ifs. Share this with someone who loves coffee, bees, or backyard birds. And tell me in the comments what's the first food you'd miss, and what would you do to save it?